Okay, day 134, How to Catch a Spy. This is version 3. So if folks in the past have had a lot of Muslim Brotherhood contacts to the extent where you're contracting with them as a private army, giving them Stinger missiles, giving them sarin gas, they're running body parts, they're running kids to the more repressive regimes in the Middle East, they're running potentially drugs through Turkey, out of Pakistan, and so forth. We have to look at those as rat lines, and we have to look at rat lines inside, I think, the United States as well, both information rat lines as well as all those other rat lines. So this is an information rat line, is what I look at it. This is a communication between supposedly two Russian banks and Trump Tower email server. I believe this server was hacked. I don't believe someone set up this server at Trump Tower to only talk to two different places. One was a Russian bank, another one was a healthcare system in Grand Rapids, Michigan. What I do think is that somebody did hack the server, set it up to make it look like Trump was doing some kind of transactions with these Russian banks. And for some reason, they chose Spectrum Health as the place to get emails about how their hacking was going. I guess that was what I was saying this morning. And I said ports and passwords. What I meant to say was ports can a lot of times tell you what servers are existing and what applications are on those servers. So I don't think that they were being hacked from Russia, but that's certainly something that Congress can look into. I believe that the hacker was at somewhere at Spectrum Health. Now, the news articles, or many news articles, were written about this information, Salon being the source, and Franklin Foer, F-O-E-R, is the source of this information. Now, what he didn't turn over was the raw data. The raw data would actually have the IP addresses of these servers, and I think you should turn that over. I think you should turn the raw data over. Here's the Trump IP address, so we already know that. But the Spectrum Health could go to an actual physical address that shows us where the hacker is. So they didn't do that. They gave this information to 9 different experts, and the experts characterized and said it looks like human traffic rather than it looks like robot traffic. So that's why we need to know exactly where these where in the Spectrum Health system does this go back to. Now, Spectrum Health, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and here's a lot of their advertisements focus a lot on drug rehabilitation, much more than other types of health systems, and especially this Noxolone, which is a substitute for, I guess, when you're on oxycodone or heroin or that sort of thing. And it's very much a business as far as you have to go in 5 times a day. They want you to go to these retreats and get off the drugs and so forth, which is fine. But knowing what I know about Hillary, her dealings with Mark Rich, her dealings with Awan, this isn't Amjad Awan, but they were running in drugs from Pakistan and through Turkey into Europe and through the United States. And I'm just wondering who the person is at Spectrum Health that purchases the refined drugs for Suboxone, and is that actually being made in Pakistan? That's my question. That's my question of the day. The other thing is the reason why we need the raw data is to find out if the people involved have a political motive. For instance, this is Fethullah Gulen right here. He's kind of split off between Erdogan in Turkey. He has kind of a more secular approach to Islam than Erdogan. But the thing is, he has universities in 140 different countries. He has all these like little kind of childcare type universities and so forth, which where are they getting all the money for that? And there have been many people who have speculated that the drug money through Turkey and now through the United States is funding all of these, all of his schools all over the United States. Now, one of the strongest supporters in the United States is also from Grand Rapids, Michigan. His name is Muzaffar Awan. He's written several articles, numerous articles, about the future of Islam and so forth, and this kind of more secular Islam. Now, I'm not saying Muzaffar Awan is in any way, he's a doctor, he's in any way internal medicine, in any way involved in the drug business, but I know that Gulen has had many ties to the drug business, and he has many ties to Hillary Clinton. So I'd like to see that detailed data of who at Spectrum Health, where does that actually go to in a physical location? Where was that conversation coming from? This is something the DOJ could go to work on tomorrow or today. The other thing, this is on the FBI point, the FBI doesn't have to order the wiretap. A wiretap can be ordered by the DOJ. Loretta Lynch could order the wiretap, or her seconds or thirds could order the wiretap and present that to the first judge. The first judge denied it. They could take it to this court of three, this court of review. These are all Clinton appointees, and I think they only need two judges versus the one to get the warrant. So just because Comey's denying that the FBI issued the warrant, that doesn't really mean anything. It's really about him saying the DOJ didn't issue any warrants. Again, I think we got to look at the top secret clearances for these folks. Got to look at all of their log activity, because I don't know that the Awans, what they were doing. No one seems to know. Were they logging into Spectrum Health in Grand Rapids? Were they logging into Trump Tower? I don't know. We don't have the proof. This is where I think the FBI needs to get involved. Again, it's not like we don't have problems here. We've got 20 burglaries. We don't have the cameras yet, but we know that there's 31 different Democrats with all this highly sensitive information on these different committees. We know we've got congressmen that don't have such a great reputation as far as the watchdog groups are concerned. We know all the focus seems to be on Russia and Trump, but no one's talking about Kisselak's meetings for the uranium meetings. Nobody's talking about Kisselak's meetings for the Iran, when he was being the go-between for the Iran nuclear deal. So, and we have this huge amount of money being paid to these Pakistani brothers. So again, this is in the hands of the Capitol Police. It's not in the hands of the FBI. So what I recommend here is the server and all of the, whatever was netted out of these 20 burglaries, if it was hard drives, thumb drives, computers, I recommend that's not to be kept at the Capitol Police wire cage, for evidence cage. I think that should be in the vault of the FBI. And again, I think we should start publishing pictures of all the people involved and start saying we have an active probe here. Start looking at the phone records and so forth, and start admitting that there's an active investigation. Again, these folks, I'm not casting aspersions here. They've been connected to Hezbollah groups that are involved in drug running. So there's the financial anomalies, the 2.5 times, 3 times pay. And we need to start looking at their movements with their GPS and seeing what characterized the activity. How often did they go into the office to make 3 times what the average congressional staffer made, for instance? What were their activities after 5 o'clock and so forth? And again, we need to look at the metadata here to see if there was any connections made to Hillary's server, to Huma's server. Did the Awan brothers ever log into those servers as well as their own server? We don't know. So all those server logs need to be turned over and presented to the House Intelligence Committee as well, and maybe a special prosecutor. So that's my update for this afternoon. I'm calling for the release of the detailed IP data that was presented in the Salon article.